Hello, hello. Yeah, I guess nobody wants to speak there.
Don't want to be in, huh?
Well, a lot of people just calling and they're just listening in, you know.
I understand.
Let's go to another 347 area code, 347679. Caller, are you there? Yes, hello, 347679. Are you there?
Yeah, what's up, bro? Rich, this is Eric.
All right, what's happening, brother?
Yeah, I have no questions, man. I think you just caught me in the call in because I lost track of the call and I called back in.
Oh, okay. So they're listening in the chat room and all, but they didn't want to get on air, huh?
Brother Eric, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a question?
No, I don't have a question, man.
Okay. All right. Thanks for listening, brother.
I got a question for the doctor. Dr. Delbert, you were saying that you were going to get into some decoding when it came to the way that they're using.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here, Dr. Blaire. Yeah, I think Red Pill just got cut off too. We having some.
Oh yeah. Okay. Some technical difficulties.
yeah. Some technical. Now,
I always get technical difficulties.
Let me ask you a question until our co-host calls back. How important is visualization, creative visualization?
Well, I think that's the key for everything. You are what you eat, drink, and think. And in consciousness, you know, they had this thing came out, the biggest secret. Well, it was a secret, but it's a secret that many people have been using anyway. Concentrated thought is your only weapon, it's your only defense, it is you, because you are part of someone's concentrated thought. So like the Matrix tried to move before the Wachowski brothers made it into a martial arts movie only, everything we do affects everything we do. When we're physical, we're affected by the mental. And the more you enter into the world of the mental, the world you're entering into the world of that has created you, the universal crime creator's mind. So when you begin to do that, this is why geniuses are made. This is why people create things and get patents for it, because when you tune to universal mind, there's nothing you can't know. The point is, can you hold the vibrations enough to create on the physical plane that is coming from the higher planes? And of course, when you do so, you're now qualifying to go past the physical plane. And that's what the whole life process is, to learn as a soul what it is to be low to the lowest denominator, third dimension, and yet as a soul having the faith to prove again you're worthy of going back to the universal creative mind, being a co-creator, a co-creator, and a universal creator. So it's simply a meaning now that we're coming back into consciousness. We're beginning to concentrate that thought. And believe me, people didn't do rain dances and fire dances. They didn't pray for seeds to sprout unless it worked. And at one time when our planet was low in vibration, but the heavens of Earth were high in vibration, and you appealed to those in the heavens, they produced on the Earth what you wanted. Now we're supposed to be possessors of enough knowledge to do it for self. That's why now you must pray to yourself through the universal mind is with you. That's why the churches are failing but getting bigger. Let me explain that conundrum. The little individual churches are losing because everybody can see through what the ministers are saying. The bigger churches are growing because now people are searching for a spiritual way. They're afraid to face things as they are. They know something's right, but they know they need help. What they don't need is the help they're getting. What they need is the help that is within them. They're now making people go through someone else, a third party, to reach the universal creator. If you have melanin, you are already part of universal creator. If you have any type of melanin, you're already a vibrational in sequence with that universal creator. And if you didn't, you couldn't exist because you came from the soul in the gulf and you go back to the soul in the gulf. It's what you do in that party stage between, the parting from the consciousness of the high going to the consciousness of the low. So when you're within yourself, all you have to do is to think on it. I tell people, go to sleep at night. Don't just go to sleep. When you go to sleep, it's just like you take a Maserati, put it in the worst parking on the street in the worst neighborhood you can think of, leave the key in the ignition and the door open. That's what you do when you go into the other side, when you go to sleep at night without making preparations. When you go with a thought in mind. Go with actions that you want to take from the highest source. Qualify by asking for it and showing that you have enough sense to know that there are certain numbers you can dial while in your sleep, meaning by that you can go places. But understand your vehicle of transportation is your soul. It's still locked into the body. That's why you come back. So when you can use that, they used to have soul armies. They used to fight the Tugaluski, which the British found out about and so, and magic is based on. We can do anything we want with melanin if we wake up, that when we're going to wake up, we're really going to sleep. And when we're going to sleep, we're really waking up, because we're souls trapped in a body that forgot that we're not the body, but the soul. The soul is here for an experience. Each time it leaves at night so you can clean up that body. And, of course, you need less sleep the more you keep a clean body. But if not, you got to get rid of all those poisons and toxins and all the defecation and all that. But while out there, you're now part of universal mind. And you can ask any question you want if you have enough faith. But if you don't have a faith, you're going to have to wait for a rabbi, a priest, well, I don't even want to name them. You got to ask for somebody else to go for you, a trip that you should make on your own, because otherwise you're always going to have doubt.
Okay. Let's get back to the question Brother Red Pill Pat had. What question were you going to ask him, Brother Red Pill?
I just wanted him to get into the ritual with these musicians. It seems that they're embracing the occult now, so I wanted to know if you had anything to add on to that.
Oh, boy. Oh, do I? Oh, how far do I venture? Let's just say this, that most of these A&R men work for big companies, and most of these big companies are controlled by dracons. What I call dracons, a superficial type of life here that has a higher vibration than we did, but was less in vibration than what our potency can be. So they must always control. How do they control these new crystal children being born, these wonderful souls that are coming in with all kind of psychic power, with all kind of consciousness and soul, that have the ability to transform this planet in 30 days' time if they can be let to mature and can tune into the planetary frequency. So what do? They give them all the things to hold them back. And I could probably make a lot of your audience very angry, but I'll simply say this. If you check through what I'm going to tell you, and check to, in fact, if you're here, I do whole workshops on all these new, what they call government names that are being given to most of the people that are in rap and hip-hop and the whole bit. Some of the best names there. If you notice, when they just had the Emmy Awards, you had phenomena happening up there. First of all, you had, when the awards are being given, you had this woman, I forget her name, this woman that sings, she sings westerns and stuff. Nobody knew much about her until Kanye went up there and said, Beyonce has the best video out and so on and so forth again. Well, this is all staged. Pardon?
Mm-hmm. Taylor Swift. And she was actually the highest selling artist in 08 when I did the research on her. But on a country, she's a country singer.
Yeah, country western. Again, yeah.
And to show that I don't mean to cut you up, to show that it was a farce, 2 days prior to the awards, the sheet leaked. They had it on the internet with all the awards already. It's already predetermined who's going to win, and that sheet actually leaked. So.
Yeah, well, you see, all of that was her initiation into the Illuminati Society. That's all. And if you notice again, even to look at all these things again. You've got you have to get back now to my repertoire on hip hop and the repertoire and pop and all this kind of stuff. But if you notice again, most of these major artists now, they are part of the same syndicate. They have to be initiated into it. They were flashing the GOAT sign all over there. If you notice that little double-pointed Texas Longhorn, as your ex-president used to say, But that was the GOAT sign, Baphomet, the GOAT god. They all are part and parcel of it. They all have sold their souls, and, of course, they can get anything they want. They can be very rich. That's wonderful. But what does it say? What profiteth a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? And unfortunately, their souls are gone. But if you notice that dance, now Beyonce is a good-looking woman. I make no thing. I'm a man. I like looking at Beyonce. But if you look at some of the things that they're doing, if you saw that dance, what do they call this? They got this song out now. If you wanted, you should have put a ring on it.
Single ladies dance that she was doing, yes.
There you go, single ladies. There you go. If you noticed on that show, that started off with one woman, Beyonce. It wound up with 50 sisters out there. I mean, and there were some beautiful women up there, all of them doing the hoochie mama dance. Okay? Now, every man's going to get that attention, but look at what they're vibrating to. I never thought I'd say Beyonce do a dance like that before. Yeah, she's sexy, yes, but that was downright hoochie mama. That's what you see Little Kim doing and stuff like that. And even she tried to get that. You can see what's happening. And in fact, there's some other things I won't say here, but there's some other research I've done. You'd be amazed at the connection some of these people have. I was amazed to find it out. Hurt me to find it out, but let me know again. We're in those final days where we all have to make decisions. What do we sell? What is worth it? What is our soul? And that's about it.
Okay.